Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Fangirl with me, Destiny. Boy, do we have things to talk about today. I specifically wanted to make sure that I gathered myself because today specifically, it has been overload of information, overload of content. I was on my way back from work and I was just on my phone refreshing. And I found myself just getting in the manic state of mind where all I want to do is repost everything and post things on my story and text people about it and be the most annoying version of myself. And I really had to dial it back. I really dialed it back today. But with that being said, and I don't think this is a shock to anyone, I will be talking about Heated Rivalry today for the majority of the episode because I need to recap episode 4 and 5. Wow, I can't even speak anymore. I wanted to have an episode ready last week, but I was on overnights last week, so that definitely was it just wasn't happening. There was a lot going on. And I just wasn't in the headspace for it. I wasn't ready to do it. So now I have a long list of things and topics that I need to talk about and discuss about these episodes. So that is going to take a majority of my time. But before I get there, I do want to touch on a few things. Because yeah. So I think I think now it's been two weeks ago, I saw Ella McKay, which Ella McKay is a movie that just came out. And I didn't see a whole bunch of press for it. It was very random. I think I saw a YouTube ad for the trailer. Or maybe I was in the movies for another movie and then the trailer came on. But I felt like this movie wasn't really advertised that much. I saw something about it, but in my mind, I was oh, it's a Christmas film, and it had nothing to do with Christmas, so that was completely and utterly on me, but I didn't care either way. I think I just associated the December release with Christmas because it had that feel of a Christmas hometown vibe, but either way, it was about this woman, Ella McKay, and I loved the movie. After I went to go log it in Letterboxd, everybody, it had really low ratings, and I was oh, what's going on? Because literally I gave it a 4.5 star because I really liked it. It had the feel of an old 2000s movie and or a early 90s, and it had that old timey feel, but not in a bad way. I think the film was set in 2008. It was about this woman. She was the youngest, something to do with politics. I forget, some type of she was the lieutenant governor. I don't even think they mentioned the state that she was from, but she was the lieutenant governor, and then she became the governor, and then all this stuff happened in her life, and it was a crazy turn of events, but not dramatic crazy. It was just and I really liked, it was the same girl from Sex Education, and I forget her name, but she was great in it. I loved her because I really felt the manic energy that Ella had, and the way that her brain worked. I understood it immediately, and the person that she is, and I was just wow, this is fantastic. And yeah, I just really liked the movie, and the movie ultimately taught me that men will ruin your life and career. They will do nothing but ruin your life and career. Not always, but they don't have trouble doing that. They really don't, because there was no, I don't want to spoil the movie, but the men deserve nothing. The men deserve absolutely nothing. Oh my God. It was infuriating. I can't. Justice for my girl Ella. Seriously. And also Jamie Lee Curtis was also in this movie. And I want an aunt like Jamie Lee Curtis's character, because the way that she stood behind and beside Ella throughout her entire life always made sure that she knew her voice, always made sure that she had a safe space to go to, always made sure that like that Ella was the girl that she was destined to be. And I found that relationship so beautiful. So beautiful. I loved her aunt. I loved it. And yeah, I just didn't understand why people were hating this movie. I'm like, just because it's not like an artsy film, like, doesn't mean that you have to hate it right off the bat. Like, I don't know. I didn't read the reviews or anything, because I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to dive into that world because I was having a good time. So yeah, go see Ella McKay if you can. It's probably, I think it's having like a short release in theaters. Maybe the budget was small. I don't know. I really liked the movie. I thought it was great. And the other thing that I want to touch on before I talk about Heated Rivalry is that, I don't know, it's been a while since I've talked about Vanderpump Rules, okay? And I am chugging my way along to get to what I really want to get to, which is obviously Scandival. I think I'm almost done with season 8. So I'm really like, I'm digging my heels in and really trying to like hold strong, but it's really hard because 1, they're introducing new people who work at SUR that I don't care about. 2, Sheena's there. 3, Jax is still there. Like, I'm at the part where Jax and Brittany just got married and they had that whole debacle with the pastor and him being homophobic and transphobic or whatever. So that was fun. Not really fun, if you understand. Anyway, that's happening. What else is happening, actually? That's like the biggest. Oh, Stassi just got engaged. That's the biggest plot that's happening right now. Stassi just got engaged to Beau, and I love Beau. I think they're incredible. And I knew once I saw Beau in the season, I knew that like that was her husband because Stassi was in the audience for Dancing with the Stars at some point this season, and Beau was right next to her, and I was like, who is this man next to her? And then I put the pieces together and I was like, oh, that's Beau. So they just got engaged. Everything's incredible. Loving that for Stassi. I love that. Say love that one more time, Destiny. And Kristen is almost on the outs with everyone on the group. I just don't know, like, if I didn't know that Scandival was going to happen, I would have clocked out of the show like after Jackson Brittany's wedding. Honestly, probably even before they even got engaged, because like the show is so infuriating to me. It's just like specifically Sheena Shea. Oh my God. I've never ever seen such a pick-me, man-centered woman in my life than Sheena Shea. It's actually diabolical, like the things that she is doing and saying. Like, she's continuing to belittle like these women who work at SUR just because they are dating the men that she wants to date. Like, Sheena, you're 34 years old. I understand that you went through a divorce. I understand that you went through heartbreak. I get that it's hard to bounce back, but like, for her to keep saying like, oh yeah, I love being single, blah, 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 blah. Or for her to claim every man that she wants to date as her best friend. Like, oh, that's my best friend. She said that about Rob. Oh, that's like my best friend. She said that about Max. Oh, that's like my best friend. She said that about Brett. Like, it's like, you stop. Literally, just stop. Sheena is literally the reason I skip over her scenes like crazy. I skip over her every single scene, every single solo scene that Sheena has. I'm skipping over it. I don't care. I don't care. She infuriates me to my core. And I learned drama that comes out like in the last season of this show. And Also, James Kennedy is still there. I hate James Kennedy. He is at this point, and I don't know what his journey is like right now, but at this point in the show, he is like a month sober and he's going to AA meetings. So like, happy for him, but also like, I will never forgive you type of thing is what I'm on. I hate James Kennedy. I think he's literally a baby child. And I know that's redundant to say, but like, That's what he is. He is the most image, like every fight that he gets in, he turns into a toddler. No, no, no. But also, I wrote down about Vanderpump Rules because ever since I started watching it, or at least recently as I've been watching it, I feel like I'm getting more aggressive. Like, I want to get into a physical altercation. I want to get into a verbal fight. And if you know me personally, that is not me. Like, I don't like confrontation. I don't like fighting with people in any sense of the form. So I just feel like I want to fight someone, but then that feeling slowly subsides. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about those two things. Okay, now let's get ready to talk about what we came here to talk about. Like I said earlier, like today, specifically when I'm filming this is when all of the GQ content came out. So we have the photos from the spread that they did with GQ. We have the video content from GQ. We also have Connor going on Shut Up Evan, the podcast. So I watched that today. I mean, there was also a New York Times article about them. Like, it's getting serious. It's really getting serious. Like, it was serious before. Now it's just like, anyway. So I wrote down, and I'm going to literally going line by line in my notes, because if I miss something, I'm going to literally be so upset. So I'm sorry if I'm looking down, but if you're listening on audio, it doesn't really matter. This show has truly given me life. And I mean, I know that's dramatic. I know that's really dramatic to say, but like the past week and a half have been god awful for me. God awful. And if I delve into it anymore, like I will start to cry. But I've been having a really rough time. The joy that this show has given me, it's unimaginable. It's truly unmatched. And I am eternally grateful that this show is coming out at this time of my life. And since the season finale is this week, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And I haven't been rewatching as much as I would like to be, because I need to savor it so that I have something to go back to. Okay? Because I don't want the thrill to expire. I don't want the thrill to be gone. And I need it to stay the way it is. So I haven't been rewatching the episodes, but trust and believe, once the season finale comes out, it will be on loop. It will be on loop in my household, because what else do I have to live for? Oh, I know. Season 2, baby. They have been confirmed for season 2. I was hoping, obviously, I talked about this last episode, but I was hoping that obviously there would be a season 2. I figured there would be, because everybody is talking about it. And plus there is a second book, so there is material. But, and I'm going to talk about this later down the line. Actually, I'll talk about it right now since we're talking about it. But so season 2 has already been confirmed by Crave, right? But Connor and Hudson, Shane and Ilya in the show, they have been signed on for 3 seasons. Right. So I know it's not technically confirmed for 3 seasons yet, but like, come on now. This following is not going anywhere anytime soon. So there will be 3 seasons, which makes me so excited. But also, as someone who has not read the books, I don't know how The Long Game ends, which is their second book. Their Seated Rivalry, and then their second book is called The Long Game. I don't know how The Long Game ends. So I'm and I also don't know how Heated Rivalry ends. So I don't know if the second season will take place at the beginning of the Long Game. So I'm just like, I'm a little confused. I am in the process. I just started reading the book yesterday. So I'm slowly getting into that, because I'm really just sick of the bitches on Twitter spoiling every single thing in this book for me. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to read it so that nothing is a shock, nothing is a surprise. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm done with you guys. You guys can't shut the hell up. So I don't know if they're going to split the book into two, or Rachel, who is the author of Heated Rivalry, if she's going to like conjure something up. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming that these end on a happy note, but you really don't. Who's to say? Who's to say? I'll let you know when I get there. But yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like or how that ends. But while I'm here, I do want to talk about, I saw this tweet that said, no, it's fine. I'm thinking about the fact that Connor Story can't get nominated for an Emmy because Heated Rivalry is a Canadian show. I didn't even realize that the Emmys like only did American TV. So that's something to think about. And then the tweet goes on to say, but he can't get nominated for Canadian Screen Awards either because he's not a Canadian citizen / resident. That's fucking sick. If that's true, like, I don't understand, like, I don't understand Canada. I don't understand anything about Canada. But the fact that he can't get nominated in either country, there has to be a loophole. There has to be a loophole, right? Just because I'm not a Canadian citizen doesn't mean that I should be penalized in Canada. I don't know. Now that I've talked about that, I just needed to like acknowledge that because that's really sick if that's true. Okay, episode 4. Episode 4 of Heated Rivalry. I don't know where in the timeline we are, actually. I don't know what year it is. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. But I do know we're really jumping quickly in the first 5 minutes. We're doing like, all right, here's the season. Here's summer. Here's the season. Here's summer. Here's a couple weeks in the season. Here's when we saw each other. Here's when we didn't see each other. Here's when we're texting. You know, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like the first 5 minutes are actually cinema. And the way that was laid out, I mean, we have shots of Shane and Ilya on the rink, and then we have shots in and then we have shots of Shane and Ilya in the bed. So like, I don't know. Again, I don't know where we are. I don't know what we're doing, but I know we're doing something crazy. It was like back to back to back. Highly recommend just to watch those first 5 minutes because that was art. Meanwhile, I think that was when a song by Wet Leg was playing, so it was just like perfect. It was perfect. Also, it was so cute to see them texting back and forth, and also the moments where they would look at the team schedule for the year and they would look when, you know, Montreal was playing Boston or vice versa. So when they would see each other, they'll be like texting, ha ha ha, like, see you in 2 weeks. There was one text in particular that I do want to talk about, and it was Shane to Ilya, and he was like, do you want to get murdered in my back alley? Which might be an innuendo, but I'm actually not quoting the text correctly. I don't have it in front of me, but he said something along the lines of like, do you want to get murdered in my back alley in like 2 weeks? And that was like really cute because that was a reference to, I'm pretty sure episode 2, when Shane invites Ilya over to his apartment for the first time, and that's when Ilya goes, you will murder me. And then that was like so cute. I literally like yelped when I saw that on my screen. I was like, you're kidding me, right? You're kidding. Oh, that was like that was the best. That was the best. But yeah, the first 5 minutes of that were so good. And then I just love that you just saw the joy on their face when they would get to see each other. And then there were moments I can't. So I'm skipping a bunch of sequences. I haven't watched episode 4 in a minute, so I'm probably forgetting something. But at this point, I think, Shane is in Boston, which is where Ilya lives. I think at this point it was like 2016, I think. So we had like skipped a couple years. Mind you, they met in 2008. Let's never forget that. Also, as I'm recording this, fun fact, in the book, which I've seen on Twitter, and anyway, they met 2 days before Christmas, which is, as I'm filming this, today. Ilya Rozanov and Shane Hollander met. How many years ago was that? Okay, if my math is correct, Ilya Rozanov and Shane Hollander met 17 years ago today as I'm filming. How kismet is that? Okay, I need to go faster. Okay, so I'm skipping to the part where Ilya invites Shane over to his house, right? Okay, they're having fun together. It's the first time he's there. He's like, woo. Shane immediately is like, this home is beautiful, whatever. And Ilya goes, Mr. Real Estate. Also, my Russian accent is trash. Don't talk about it. Okay. I am not Connor Story. I never will be. So Mr. Real Estate is here. So they're in bed, they're talking. And then Ilya goes, you should stay the night, which they've never done. They've never done that. You know, they'll have their moments and then they'll like lay in bed for a little bit and then they're like, okay, I should go. And Ilya's like, no, you should stay the night. And Shane is like, well, I told Hudson or whatever his name is. It's not Hudson. That's his real name. Hayden. Oh yeah, his teammate Hayden. He's like, I told Hayden I'd be back. And Ilya's like, is Hayden your mother? Stay. And so they agreed that Shane was going to stay the night because their game the next day was like, they had like an afternoon game. It wasn't like a morning game, whatever. So, yay, Shane's sleepover. You know, they wake up and Ilya's like, I'm hungry. And then Ilya goes, do you want a tuna melt? Right? And so this whole time we've had like little instances where Shane has been like, he's like on a strict diet. I don't know what he describes what he eats as fish food at one point in the series. So it's very like, you know, cut and dry, like nothing crazy. And so I think that Ilya, now I'm hypothesizing, I think that Ilya has taken notice of this because we saw a couple scenes of him before this, like literally watching interviews of Shane, like watching his house tour, like, you know, he's like he's getting to know Shane on like a weird level, because he's obsessed with him. And so Ilya's like, do you want a tuna melt? And Shane's like, you want to make me a tuna melt? And he's like, I was going to make one anyway, but like, since I'm making one, I can make one for you too. And like, it's not even like that. Like, I was just like, I was going to make one for me. Okay, Ilya. Okay. And he goes to his fridge. He pulls out pre-measured ingredients. Okay. Yeah, you were just going to make one pre-measured. Okay. Shut the hell up. And then he gives Shane ginger ale because he knows that Shane loves ginger ale. Like, that's what he drinks. He doesn't really drink beer. He doesn't do all that. He doesn't do all that stuff. Only when it's like time to celebrate. But, you know, we have a game tomorrow. I need to drink some ginger ale if I'm going to drink something indulgent, you know? And Ilya goes, is a ginger ale cold enough for you? Shut the hell up. How about you do that? They're on the couch. They're watching some hockey game. I don't know. But they are so far apart from each other. It's like crazy. It's like, weren't we just in the bedroom, you know, doing the thing? Now we're 10,000 miles apart now. Okay, that's fine. So they're talking, you know, Shane's asking a couple questions. He's trying to get to know Ilya on a different level. Okay, we never actually hung out like this before. You know, it's very like, boom, boom, done. We're done. We're out. But now we have time to kill. We have space we need to fill. So they're trying to get to know each other on a deeper level. They're asking questions. And at one point, it's actually so special because I forgot what they're talking about, but Ilya at some point was like, well, you know, I'm lazy. And that's a callback to a comment that his dad made to him. He said something about how lazy he is, even though he is the one literally taking care of the entire family. Okay, he's lazy. That's totally fine. So Ilya goes, yeah, well, I'm super lazy. And then Shane's like, I've never seen that side of you. Of course you haven't. No, of course you haven't. So that's happening. They're eating the tuna melts. And All of a sudden, Ilya gets this call from his brother. Oh, he gets a call from his dad. His dad, mind you, is dealing with dementia, and his brother's supposed to be taking care of him. His brother's not there. His dad's freaking out. And so he calls his brother. He gets really angry. He's having like these really like, he's stressed out. He's not in Russia. He's paying his brother to be there for his dad, and he's not there. So he's like kind of helpless. And there's this beautiful, beautiful like shot where Ilya's in his home. He's like pacing back and forth. And then he takes a second, he breathes, he kisses his necklace that his mom, it was his mom's, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. Because his mom is, if you know what I mean. He kisses his necklace, he like shakes his hand, and then it cuts to like him being present again with Shane. Oh my God, guys, that literally broke me. I literally started crying at that because it just showed how much Ilya like wanted to be there and present for Shane. And even though he's going through so much with his family, he still took the time to like collect himself, because he easily could have been like, you know what, Shane, like, I don't want you here. Like, I'm having a really tough time. Like, just leave. But he knows that time with Shane is so precious that he's like, you know what? I'm going to be fine. I need to be here with Shane. And like, I just like, that scene broke my heart. And the way that Jacob shot that, like, oof, so beautiful. So I can't even. I love episode 4. So after that, they finally sit next to each other on the damn couch, okay? And then they're cuddling or whatever. Shane, like, no, Ilya brings Shane in. They're hugging. And then, you know, they're like having some fun on the couch, if you know what I mean. And I'm not going to lie. Again, I didn't read the book, so I don't know what's happening. And so I had to do some research about what was happening on the couch, because I'm like, I thought I knew what was going on. And then as the scene progressed, I was like, I actually have no idea what's going on. So I would encourage you to do some research on TikTok. I basically saw a TikTok video of someone like explaining what was happening, but not really going into explicit detail. And then I did my own research from there. Nothing crazy. I literally just went to Urban Dictionary and figured it out. Don't. I know that sounded weird, but don't. That's all I did. Okay. So they're having fun on the couch. Mind you, and I wrote this in my notes, I said, I also couldn't help but think that they really love each other, because I know their breath stinks from making out. They're obviously like making out. They're breathing heavily into each other's faces. Let's not forget, 5 minutes before this, they were devouring tuna melts. Like, you know? Like, that's the only thing that I think about when I see that scene, even though it's like, it's a great scene. But that is the only thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, y'all just were chewing down on tuna melts, and now you're breathing in each other's faces. Like, that was crazy. Also, can I say something? When Ilya spit in Shane's hand, I literally jumped. I jumped. I'm sorry. Like, I just wasn't expecting that to, I wasn't expecting to see that, but hey, that's real. So I don't know. I just wasn't expecting that. Anyway, this is a powerful moment, actually, because while they're doing this on the couch, Ilya says Shane's name for the first time. So up until this point, they've only said each other's last names, right? They've said Hollander, Rosanov. In every scenario ever, even when they're talking casually, they don't say each other's first names, okay? But Ilya says Shane And then Shane says, Ilya. And right immediately, as soon as Shane realized what just happened, he freezes, he gets up from the couch, and he goes, I can't do this anymore. I can't even describe the heartbreak that I was feeling when I was watching that. I literally was like, no, Shane, no. I he was literally like basically having a panic attack, and he had to get up off the couch and he left. He's like, I have an early meeting in the morning I forgot about. And Ilya's like, you forgot about a meeting? Because he knows that's not true. He knows that he doesn't have a meeting, obviously. And you can see the look on Ilya's face. He's like, I know I messed up. And he tried to patch it up by saying Hollander twice. He's like, don't do this. And he did. Shane did. So he got up and left. I mean, oh. So after that, Shane is like, he's like at some lunch with his parents or whatever. And he asked for ginger ale because that is his drink of choice. And they're like, no, we don't have that. How about sparkling water? I mentioned that because it's important. Okay, it's important. At this point of the episode, Shane got so spooked by Ilya that he decided that he needed to date a woman. Like, he could not deal with the fact that, like, he actually is starting to like Ilya in a big way. And so he meets Rose and he's like, what if we dated? What if I dated the most, like, famous celebrity woman that there is right now? The most it girl that there is. How about I do that? Like, I like hanging out with her. I like talking to her. Baby, that's just queening out. Baby, you're just having a friendship. Like, you don't like her like that. But, yeah, someone, like, drags Shane out to a bar, and then he sees Rose Landry, and he's like, I need to go talk to her. Mind you, also, at the bar, he asked for a ginger ale. And the bartender goes, yeah, we have ginger ale, but it was in a condescending tone. So I'm basically talking about the moments where Shane wants ginger ale, but the only person, and this is the ginger ale metaphor, okay? We're doing dissertations about ginger ale. So basically, the only time that Shane feels comfortable, or the only time it has been comfortable for Shane to, like, be his true authentic self is with Ilya, because the one time he wanted ginger ale at the restaurant, they were like, we don't have that. You can have something else though. The one time that he wanted ginger ale at the bar, they made him feel uncomfortable with his choice, and he was like, actually, I'll just take a beer. Whatever you have on top, I'll just take a beer. It's too much work, and I know it. But Ilya was like, I have this ginger ale. You don't even have to ask for it. I already know your needs, and I'm going to help you out. And that's just really sweet. And once I read that, I was like, girl, forget it. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? So yeah, Shane starts dating Rose Landry. They're like the new it couple. Ilya sees this. He's like, bro, what the hell? And then this all, like, culminates to a scene that we see in, like, some nightclub. I think it was after a game between the two. Yeah, it was after a game between the two of them, obviously, because they were in the same city. I think this is probably, like, the first time that they had played against each other and they weren't about to, like, hook up after. And the club scene itself is so crazy because Ilya goes to the bar. He sees one of Shane's friends, or a friend of Rose Landry's, because Ilya is intuitive. He knows things. He sees Miles at the bar. Miles does a little, hey, no words spoken, actually, just like a hey from across the bar. Ilya sees him, immediately knows that Shane is there. And, like, it spooks him. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to make out with this girl while you make out with your girlfriend, and we're going to stare at each other from across the room. Everybody okay with that? Cool. Okay. I know that meant nothing to you, but I just had to like take a little break and then come back. I realized that I I just pulled up the ginger ale theory or the metaphor because the way I explained it, like I just feel like I didn't get my point across. So I'm going to read word for word what the ginger ale metaphor is. So, Ilya knows Shane's favorite drink and already has it waiting for him at his house. He checks in about it, asking if it's cold enough. Ilya is doing everything to make Shane feel comfortable. He has seen Shane and has paid attention, not judging him, just providing him with what he wants and needs. That's love. And then it goes on to say that, but Ilya is the only one to provide Shane with what he wants and needs. When Shane wants ginger ale with his parents at the restaurant, but he doesn't have it. I obviously can't read anymore. At the bar, they do, but it's a judge response. Nowhere is Shane given the same thoughtfulness and comfort that he is by Ilya knowing and having this, that it's his favorite drink. My God, I can't read. Okay, one more thing. This is where the symbol and the metaphors come in. Ginger ale isn't just a drink. It's symbolic of who Shane is. It's non-alcoholic, used to soothe upset stomachs. Shane is always anxious and on edge, and everyone pressuring him to consume alcohol, while Ilya just gives him a place to be himself, shows how societal pressures prevent Shane from being true, while Ilya frees him and loves him. That's so sweet. And also, wow, I cannot read. But see, it's deeper. It's deeper than the ginger ale. It's deeper than just like a drink or his whatever. It is so much deeper than that. And like this show is so much more than what people may think it is. And I hope by now, like the fact that people keep talking about it, it's like this has substance. This is not just a show about like whatever you want. Okay, so we're still on episode 4. So at the end of the episode, we see, after Shane and Ilya see each other at the club, we see Shane going back home with Rose and like, you know, they're having a night, if you know what I mean. And it was interesting because the episode ends with Ilya in the shower, self-pleasuring himself. But then it's like, it's cutting back between Ilya in the shower and Shane being with Rose. Like, Shane is having sex with Rose, right? But it's cutting back and forth between Ilya and Shane. And at first I was like, okay. And then I log onto Twitter. See, this is the one time where I'm like, okay, being on Twitter is good. Being on Twitter is fine because, like, if it wasn't for that, like, I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. So here's what they say. It says, PSA for those of us that are a little slow, which I was like, okay, well, sorry, I didn't read the book. Damn. Ilya alone in the shower at the end of episode 4 is Shane's fantasy. Okay. Shane is visualizing Ilya in his own shower to finish because he can't get there with Rose otherwise. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. That's actually crazy work. That's crazy work. Like, wow. Because I just thought Ilya was like frustrated with what happened that night. Like, I don't know. That was right. So that is how episode 4 ends. And I mean, and I was so excited for episode 4 because at that point, again, like I had said in the previous episode, we'd only had those 2 episodes with Shane and Ilya. So the editors were really working with what they had. And so, I mean, the edits just keep getting better and better and better. And specifically after this episode, there was an edit that I saw to Charlie XCX's hello? Charlie who? Charlie who? Charlie XCX's Jesus. I saw an edit of her song B2B back to back. It was so good. I wish I can't just drop it into the video, but like it is so good because it starts off with the scene on the couch of them and Shane walking away, and it's in the part of the song where she's like, I don't want to feel feelings, I don't want to feel feelings, and I actually need to do my due diligence and like download that TikTok and send it to every person that I know because it's so beautifully done. Because if you know B2B, it goes da 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 da. It's like it goes back to back. Oh my God, she's a genius. And it's every single timeline jump in their relationship. It's it's the edit that I keep going back to, and I know it's probably not like a very like. I mean, it has a lot of views because like everybody's looking at every edit, but I feel like, I don't know, it's not like one of the ones that people are talking about, I don't think, but to me, that one was so good. I'm just like, you got me there. You really got me there. I don't have a favorite edit for episode 5, I don't think. I mean, I've seen some Hamilton ones that are really good, but I don't know. After episode 5, I like had to take a break. I had to take a break on TikTok because, I mean, I was just like fully enthralled in a way that I was like about to scare myself. And when I feel that way, I'm like, okay, you need to stop. Like, you just need to stop. You need to put your phone down and like, don't go on TikTok. You cannot be consuming edits right now. The edits will be there when you are ready, but right now you are not ready. And right now you need to just like chill the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Now we're getting into episode 5. The masterpiece that episode 5 is. My God. We started off this episode. Also. This is the most intimate episode that we have had yet, and yet, no sex scene. Not one sex scene. And that speaks volumes. This is the show has depth, okay? What's that one lyric from Tate McRae? I'm thinking about the lyric in Purple Lace Bra where she's like, basically she says like, when I'm giving you head, it's the only time you think I have depth. Like, no, actually we have depth there's so many. Also, the timeline for this episode, so many things happened in this episode and it's 50 minutes. I'm like, we've actually gone through so much tragedy and so much joy, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, wow, we've really gone places here. The pacing of this episode is perfect. Anyway, we start off this episode with, I don't even know, again, I don't know where in the timeline we are, but I think it's shortly, I don't know, actually. I'm not going to assume. We start the episode with Shane waking up in his bedroom. Rose is like putting on, her clothes. She's like, okay, I gotta go. And he's like, I'm so sorry about last night. Like, I've just been so stressed about the season. She's like, no, it's okay. Like, don't even worry about it. Obviously, like, Shane is having a problem being intimate with Rose for obvious reasons. And so she's like, we'll just like get dinner this week. Like, don't worry about it. I'll see you soon. I'll text you. Bye. So then we see them, later on in the week, they're having dinner. And then she's like, oh, you're so cute. And then she's trying to explain to him like, oh my gosh, my friend Miles, the same Miles who Ilya saw in the bar, Rose's friend Miles. She's like, he is in love with you. Like, he would love to like, he's so jealous of me, blah, blah, blah. Basically trying to start the conversation off by saying, Shane, I know you're gay. Like, hey, baby, I know. And it's going to be okay. I promise you. And then he's like, what? There's a specific line where she's like, do you like kissing me? And Shane's like, sure. He literally says, sure. And then she's like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, if somebody said that to me, forget it. You're done. I actually don't want to have this conversation with you. I don't want to help you anymore. Like, you're done. But Rose is much nicer. But she's basically like, have you ever been with a man before? Did it feel better? Was it different? And like, oh my God, Hudson's acting during that scene. He's literally nonverbal at this point because Rose has clocked his tea. And oh my gosh, Hudson, his eyes start tearing up and he's just like nodding yes and no to Rose's questions. And he's like having these flashbacks. We see these flashbacks of him and Ilya having these moments together in hotel rooms. And I'm just like, oh my God, you must be joking. You must be joking. This isn't how we're starting this episode. There's no way. So basically they have that conversation. Also, this is the moment where Shane goes, oh my God, I love him. He goes, I prefer to be the peg in the hole, because they're talking. Rose basically said like, I don't think we're working. I think you're trying to fit a square hole in a circle peg, And then Shane later on in the conversation, he's like, I prefer to be the peg in the hole. No, he says he prefers to be the hole in the peg. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Shane is basically like, I'm a bottom. Anyway, they finish off that conversation. Rose is like, I really want to be friends. Like, you need a friend. Let's be that to each other. Okay? No sweat off her back. She's like, I've been through this before. I'm in theater. I get it. Love Rose Landry. Thank you, girl. We need you. So now we're opening up. We're getting more comfortable. Turns out we're doing some type of like East versus West Coast game. It's kind of like the it's like the game in the NBA where they like the All-Star game. It's like the All-Star game for hockey. I'm pretty sure, I forget what it was called, but like all of a sudden now Shane and Ilya are at this competition and they're on the same team. So they see each other for the first time since Shane left Ilya's home in Boston, right? That was the last time they saw each other. I'm pretty sure they haven't talked to each other since. So they see each other at the hotel. They're talking. They don't really get into like specifics of what happened, but they're breaking the ice. Okay. It's been like a year since they've seen each other. So, we cut to a scene of Ilya in the pool and he's like, oh my God, he's surrounded by a bunch of kids. Okay. He's like playing with the children in the pool. And he's like, they're doing like sharks and like, I don't know what they're playing, but Ilya is a shark, okay? He's bantering with the kids. He's like, do you know who that person is over there? And Shane's literally on like a layout chair. He's just like chilling, but he's watching Ilya, obviously. Ilya's like, do you know who that person is? And one of the girls is like, that's Shane Hollander. He's the best hockey player. And Ilya's like, go get your dad. No, that's not right. That's not right. He's so cute with these damn kids. It's actually sick. I've never seen Ilya like be so cute with anyone except for Shane. But it was a really cute moment and I don't know. I just had to say something about it. Also, this is a moment where, they're playing on the same team. Shane scores a goal. After the goal, Ilya kisses him like on the cheek, but not really on the cheek. It's like the helmet. But it was still like a really intimate moment to be shared on the ice. And that was really cute. And so after that, I didn't even talk about, but the conversation that they had at the like hotel bar, basically Ilya was trying to suss out like, is Shane still with Rose? Okay, that was his main goal of the conversation. I forgot the specific questions he asked, but basically Shane was like, yeah, me and Rose just like weren't compatible. So later on after the game, Ilya finds Shane on the beach and he's like, I looked up that word you said earlier. And Shane's like, what did I say? He's like, compatible. He's like, I thought I knew what it meant, but I just wanted to make sure. So Ilya was like, I need to make sure that what he said is true. He said they're not compatible. And so he goes, you and Rose Landry? And then Shane goes, not compatible. He's such a dork. I love him. Like, please. And so they have this really open conversation later on. Shane asks what's Ilya's room number. Shane goes to his room. He's basically like coming out for only like the second time and to Ilya, and Ilya's like, Ilya during this conversation, like, he was pissing me off because I'm like, Ilya, just listen, just be open. He's trying to say something. Let him say it, okay? And I know it's kind of ridiculous for someone that you've been hooking up with for like 7 years to come out as gay to you. It's like, girl, what did you think this was? But like, since Shane is about 2 hours old, like, he needed that outlet to tell him that he needed to say it. And so Shane's being like, yeah, I'm gay, but you're not really fully gay. And he's like, not really. Shane's so cute. He's like, I can't deny my feelings for you and I really like you. And then Ilya's immediately shutting him down. And then he's like, okay, but like, if we could be together, like, would you want to be? And Ilya's like, no, because of Russia. He's explaining, like, I can't be gay, and like, if I come out in this moment, like, I can never go back to Russia because it is illegal to be gay in Russia, right? Because Russia. I love that moment. And then Ilya starts getting emotional because he starts opening up to Shane about, you know, how his dad has dementia and that his mom's died and his brother is awful. And also incredible acting by Connor and Hudson. But Ilya gets emotional and then Shane comforts him and it's so cute. It's so cute. It's such a pure and innocent, like, tender moment. Love it. And then once they leave, they call each other by their first name. Which is like so crazy, but whatever. The banter in this episode was just like so cute and fun, and like the way that they were like getting more comfortable with each other. Like, I could smoke a cigarette. They have a game together, and then the next day, someone on Shane's team is like, Rosenoff didn't go with the team to Nashville. And immediately Shane's like, he wasn't sick. He wasn't injured. Like, what happened? So then we find out that Ilya's dad died. And Shane reaches out. And they're on FaceTime with each other. And Ilya's like, you wear glasses? Because Shane wears glasses to read, as he says. He's like, they're just my reading glasses, whatever. And he says, put them back on. Put the glasses back on. I don't care. Put those glasses back on. I want to see you in those glasses. Then later on in the conversation, he's like, I would feel better if you took off your clothes right now. And then Shane takes off his shirt and he takes off his glasses. And then Ilya's like, the glasses stay on. Like, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Like, the glasses are staying on. And that's so real because when I saw Shane in the glasses, I said, whoa. Because I love a man in glasses. What can I say? I'm a sucker for it, actually. Again, the pacing of this episode is absolutely bonkers. We cut to Ilya in Russia at his dad's funeral. He's basically having a conversation with his brother, like, I'm cutting you off. Never speak to me again. I'm setting up a trust for my niece. I didn't have to do that, by the way. And whatever, like, get out of my life. Svetlana is there to like help him. She's like, I love you, and I know you don't love me the way that I love you, but that's okay because I'll always be here for you, is what she's essentially saying. And mind you, this entire time, Shane and Ilya they've still been texting and they've still been under like Jane and Lily. Svetlana goes, at the end of whatever she's saying, she goes, I hope Jane realizes how lucky he is. Again, a woman is clocking their teeth. Svetlana said, I know exactly what you're doing. And she's not angry about it. She's like, I respect you and I love you because you're my friend. I hope Jane knows how lucky he is. Like, okay. Then the girls are girling in a way that the girls have never girled before. They are clocking their teeth left and right. Rose and Svetlana. Yeah. Let's get the job done, okay? It's incredible. So then we cut to Ilya. He calls Shane and he's like, it's been a rough day. And he's like, I don't really have the words that I want to say. I can't speak in English right now. Like, it's too much. I can't do the mental right now. And so Shane's like, okay, well, say everything that you want to say in Russian. I won't understand it, but at least you get to, like, you know, get stuff off your chest. And there are some lines from this monologue that Connor does, all in Russian, that I really want to pick out and just hone in on. He starts off by saying, I never want to come back here again. Back here as in Russia. Okay? And they all hate me here. You know, I pay for everything. I make sure everybody has the clothes that they like. I make sure the food is perfect, which I want to, let's pause here. He goes, I make sure the food is perfect. Let's not forget, oh my God. Let's not forget, back in episode 4, when Shane came to Ilya's house, he was making sure that Shane had the drinks that he liked, the food that he could eat, and making sure that he was comfortable. Like this is innate for Ilya, okay? Like this is who he is. This is how he has been living his life for forever. And so he wanted to make sure that everything was perfect for Shane when he came over. Right. He's like, I made sure that my father was buried next to his parents. I made sure that everything was good for the funeral. I'm also paraphrasing, okay? But I'm also reading like direct quotes. So just stick with me. Ugh. And he's like, the only word I ever hear is more. Like, Ilya, I want more. And he's like, I have nothing left to give to these people. Oh my God. He goes, I give them everything, but I feel fucking empty. They don't care. They look at me and they see me as a bank or an enemy or I don't even know what. Mind you, Shane is just listening to Ilya just like going off. Not understanding. He's talking about his brother and he's like, I really hate that I had to put the whole burden of taking care of my dad on my brother, even though his brother is an awful person. I can't say that enough. His brother's awful. But he's like, I hate that I wasn't able to be here, but I had to continue with hockey to pay for everything. And now that like he's cut off his brother, like he really has nobody, he has nobody left. His dad's dead, his mom's dead, and his brother is nothing. And he's talking about Svetlana and like, he's like, I really love her. She's always there for me. And then I'm quoting directly now. And then he goes, I love Svetlana, but not like I love you. That's the worst fucking part of all of this. That all I want is you. It's always you. I'm so in love with you and I don't know what to do about it. Pack it up. Pack it up because there's nothing left. I have nothing left to give you. Oh my God. I was just talking about a couple weeks ago how I love the trope where it's like, it's always been you. Like, I don't know how you couldn't have seen it. Like, I've always loved you. Oh my God. All I want is you. It's always you. That's all I have to say. Like, what? The lines in this episode, not only was the banter so fun, but gut-wrenching. I was sobbing at this. Are you kidding? Forget it. And then Shane like ends the phone call. He's like, I wish you were here right now. And Ilya's like, I do too. He's like, I do too. Yeah, of course. Guys, episode 6 is going to end me, but let's keep pushing. So they have a game. I think maybe like 2 weeks later, they're playing against each other and Shane gets hurt, right, by one of Ilya's teammates. And he gets like a concussion, like bruised collarbone. It's bad. He's in a sling. It's bad. Mind you, the trauma that Ilya has just gone through. He's cut off his brother. His dad is dead. And then he just saw the man that he loves get hurt on the ice. He's like, I actually don't know if you're okay. And so Shane is obviously like out of it. He's getting wheeled off the ice in a stretcher. He tells the paramedics, tell him I'm fine. He's going to get worried. And the paramedic is like, your coach is on the phone with your dad now. It's fine. And he's like, no, I'm talking about Ilya. Right. Of course you are. And what if I hurt myself? What if I jumped off of something very tall? What if I jumped off of something very tall? Because how could you say that? In your dazed and confused state, you're thinking about your man. Yeah. Of course he is. Because he's in love with him. Cut to the next day. Shane's in the hospital. He's high as a kite. Okay? High off those pain meds. Ilya sneaks in to go see him to make sure he's okay before he has to like fly out to wherever he's going. As soon as he sees Ilya, he goes, Ilya. Oh, I forgot to mention that before the game started, Shane was like, they were already making plans to meet up. He's like, okay, my door code is this. You can come in through the front door. Like, well, are we still on tonight? Like, making sure everything's good. And then, oh my God, it was just so cute. Because he's like, oh, the front door, you're bold, huh? And then Shane goes, fuck you. And Ilya goes, later. Okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, Shane's in the hospital. He goes, Ilya. High as a kite. So cute. The cutest scene of the entire episode, actually. Because Ilya is so worried. He's like, I was worried about you. I can't get through this episode. I like just thinking about it, like really, I can't. Okay. We're going. So, in the hospital, Shane asks Ilya to go to his cottage. He goes, will you come to my cottage this summer? And then Ilya is just like staring at him. He's like, I can't do that. Because usually Ilya goes to Russia in the summer, but this summer he wouldn't really need to, right? Because he's cut off his brother and nobody else is really there except for maybe Svetlana, but like she can come to Boston, you know? So Shane is like, it's going to be super private. You can come for like a week or two. We could have so much fun together. And then Ilya's like, okay, maybe. Like, no, he doesn't give him an answer. He's just like, okay, maybe we'll see. And then he has to go. So he leaves the hospital. And then I don't think anything, like he's recovering, whatever. And cut to like the championship is the Stanley Cup Finals. Neither of their teams are in it. Scott Hunter's new team, I don't even know where Scott Hunter is, but Scott Hunter used to skate with Shane on the Montreal Metros. I don't know where Scott Hunter is now, but he's doing his thing. So basically Scott Hunter wins the Stanley Cup. He's like, woo, yay, kissing the cup. Everybody's families come on the ice, okay? Scott doesn't have anybody there, right? But the camera cuts to Kip. Do we remember episode 3? Okay, episode 3 is making a lot of sense now because again, I didn't know it was going to tie everything back. I remember last time I was like, I don't know if that's how their story ends. No, it does not. Cut to Kip in the audience. He's crying. He's with his friend, and she's like, you're allowed to be sad. It's okay. Because at this point, I don't think they were like talking anymore because Kip was like, I want to be like out with my boyfriend and not feel worried about it, you know? So Kip is in the audience. He's with his dad, by the way. His dad was there. I didn't even catch it the first time. Somebody had to screenshot the shot and was like, look, his dad's there. So Kip is in the audience. Scott's looking around. He's looking around and he's like, you know what? He sees Kip in the audience and he ushers him down to the ice. He's like, come on down. Yes, I'm talking to you. Come here. Kip takes about 10,000 years to get down to he takes about 10,000 years to get down to that ice. He's slipping and sliding. And then, mind you, everybody's watching right now. Not just everybody in the stadium, everybody, quote unquote, in the world, okay? Because hockey is a big thing. Hockey's huge. Scott Hunter brings Kip down. At this point, I'm already sobbing because I can feel what's happening, okay? Like, we already know. So they get onto the ice. Scott goes, I love you so much. And Kip goes, I love you too. And they kiss. Mind you, in the episode with Kip and Scott, I forget her name right now, but Kip's friend who he brings to the dinner for Scott, when she pulled Scott to the side and like was dancing with him, she was basically like, you need to get your act together if you want to date my friend, because I know Kip, I love Kip, and he deserves sunshine, and so do you. Cut to episode 5 when they're kissing on the ice. The song that's playing, like what's it called? I Believe in Anything. There's a line in the song. It's like something sunshine. It literally says sunshine. Jacob Tierney, when I catch you. Jacob Tierney, when I catch you, it will be nothing but good words, because ooh, your brain. I could just kiss it. I could kiss it. So Shane and Ilya are seeing Scott Hunter, the first openly out NHL player at this rate, because he's making out with his boyfriend on the ice. Ilya gets up from his seat. He goes to the other room. He immediately calls Shane. And Shane's like, and then all of a sudden, Ilya goes, I'm coming to the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage. I haven't stopped saying I'm coming to the cottage. We're coming to the cottage. We're going to the cottage. Like, I haven't stopped saying. I wish there was a word count that I had internally of how many times I've said cottage this week alone. Oh, wow. I am so excited for episode 6. It's going to be a masterpiece and a half, and I already know it. I already know that the banter is going to be insane. The chemistry is going to be insane. They're going to be so domestic. It's going to be sick to my stomach. I'm going to be sick to my stomach in a way that I haven't been sick in a long time. Mind you, it's also the season finale, so I'm essentially saying goodbye to these characters for like another year or so. No. Because it only takes one person to give you the courage to do something that you've been wanting to do for a while. And that is poetry. I'm coming to the cottage. We're all going to the cottage. Like, my bags are packed. I'm going to the cottage with you. Like, please save me a seat on the couch. Like, give me a tuna melt. I don't like tuna. I'll eat it. I'll eat whatever you have. Like, I'll take it. I'm so excited. So, I don't think, when Scott and Kip were kissing on the ice, I was sobbing my eyes out. It was 7 a.m. because I had to wait. I couldn't watch it at midnight like I usually do. I had to wait till 7. And the thing about this episode is, like, there were no sex scenes at all in this episode, but it was the most intimate episode that we have ever gotten. And that's how you know the feelings are getting deeper. It's getting real up in here. It's getting real in a real way. Like, oh my gosh. Becky, look at her butt. Like, I also would really like to note that, notice how in a show about men loving men, beautiful, love that, it is still the women that help get the shit done. It is still the women who are moving mountains and making sure that these men understand what is going on and who they really are. Yeah, that's right. Oh, how I love being a woman. Like, it's literally like the scene in Little Women, like, women. Like, it's women. We, we, there are no words that I have. I have no words for us because we are incredible. Because it took Rose having that conversation with Shane, being like, was it better when you were with a guy? Mm-hmm. And it was Svetlana saying that one comment to Ilya for him to, well, technically confess his feelings to Shane. Like, I hope Jane knows how lucky he is. And it's Elena talking to Kip and Scott, being like, you guys deserve sunshine, and like, this is it. And even in the moment in episode 5 when Kip is like crying when he sees Scott like winning the championship, and she's like, it's okay to cry, like it's okay to be sad, you deserve to be, like, it's gonna be okay. And she's like, you better get down there. The women in the show carrying it on their backs. It's just insane. Last couple points that I need to make, because I haven't talked about these people enough. I know I said in my last episode that these two freaks need to date, and and I shouldn't have said that, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I understand that they're soulmates, and I love that for them. And I couldn't help myself with me hyperfixating on and thinking about Shane and Ilya and not Connor and Hudson. Like, I'm sorry. But in my defense, I've never seen a friendship like the kind that they've had. And it's actually really interesting because I saw a tweet today that was like, the first season only took like 36 days to film. And the connection that they have to each other is so electric, and it's obviously like palpable, and you can see it from the screen. And I really just love that because it's just so nice to see two men be so comfortable with each other and not like be this weird, like, well, bro, I didn't mean it like that. But it's just like, no, they're just who they are, and they are so comfortable with each other, and they love each other deeply, and they want to see the other person succeed, and they're touchy with each other, and not in a weird way, but just in like, I feel so safe with this person. And I haven't seen a relationship like that with two men. And so my mind immediately was like, oh no, they should date. And it's like, actually, like, it shouldn't go there. Like, it doesn't need to go there. It doesn't always need to go there. But I just really appreciate their friendship, and honestly, I love them together, obviously. And I think they've created something very special and important and needed. And I love them. So I'm just walking back some comments I made last time. And I just really love them as a duo, and I love them together. And anytime they have an interview together, like, I'm clicking play immediately, like, no hesitation, it's done. So with that being said, I need them, I need Connor and Hudson to start acting like couples so there's this thing in Thai dramas, like Thai BL dramas, aka Thai boy love dramas. That's what BL stands for. So there's a thing in these Thai BLs where they will pair two people together for multiple dramas, like completely different plots, completely different storylines, but the two people are usually always together because, like, that's just like, when you find a pairing that works, like, they stick to it. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I need that kind of story implemented with Connor and Hudson. Like, I just need them to be doing multiple projects together in like a loving way. Like, completely different storylines. It could be whatever you want, but I just need these two together. Also, with that being said, I really would like to see them shine in a big way. And I also saw a tweet today that was like, I hope that this has shed a light to Crave, because ultimately, even though the show for the people in the US is on HBO, like, HBO doesn't have anything to do with the show. Like, it is just a Crave original, fully in Canada, which is awesome and cool, but I think it's like a lower budget studio. By the way, they've done incredible work with the budget that they had. But I saw today, and I don't know how true or fake this is, but it said that Connor and Hudson were only paid like $6,000 per episode, and they only filmed 5 episodes, and that was like months ago. So I don't want to do that math, but that's not as much as they could be getting for the success that the show has had. So I'm hoping that season 2, they are paid more. And I'm also hoping that they get jobs because I'm worried about them. I think now, like, they'll get like sponsorships and like, you know, be ambassadors to brands and, you know, be faces of things, and it'll be great for them. But I'm just like, I just want the best for them, and I really hope that they get everything that they've ever wanted. But that's just me being parasocial. But yeah, I just really want them to get paid more for next season. So hopefully we can make that happen, Canadians. I have nothing to do with that. I need your taxpayers' dollars to like be put to good work. You know, I just need something good to happen for them. And Crave, do the right thing. That's all I'm saying. Lastly, to leave on this note, since we are all going to the cottage on Friday, I saw something that said that apparently there was a moment while they were filming episode 6 at the cottage, and there was an improvised moment that Connor did in an intimate scene, and the intimacy coordinator was looking at the monitor, and when Connor did whatever the hell he did, she got up and left. She got up and was just like so shocked about what she saw. So I don't know. When I saw that, that literally freaked me the hell out. Because yes, this show has been freaky already. So like, I don't understand what an intimacy coordinator could have seen to freak her out. Like, I'm terrified. And it's no secret, like, Hudson and Connor, obviously I've been talking about like how comfortable they are with each other, but they're very comfortable in that sense. And they were both like so open and willing to do whatever was permitted for the characters. Like they don't care. So one, I am scared to see that moment because I just feel like I will like literally jump out of my seat. I'm also hoping that it stays in the final cut because I want to see it. I want to see whatever the hell Connor did, okay? I want to see it. But that is the note I'm leaving you guys on. Again, I can't stop saying we're going to the cottage. We're going to the fucking cottage. I'm so excited. And also, I'm watching for the first time ever. I'm watching this show with other people. I'm watching the finale of all things with other people. So I'm personally like really nervous. I'm personally really nervous for the person that I will become. Like, I will be screaming, like blood curdling screams. And it's going to be really serious for me. It's going to be very serious. And I'm going to have to really like, this is going to be the ultimate test of self-control because I won't be able to watch it until Friday night. So first of all, I can't go on my phone. So if you have to reach me on Friday, don't. And yeah, it's going to be the ultimate test of self-control because nowhere is safe. I can't go on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, nothing. TikTok, God, no. So I'm so excited to go to the cottage. I'm literally so pumped, and I needed this. I really needed this. So I hope you enjoyed my full recap of episodes 4 and 5 of Heated Rivalry. I obviously, this goes without saying, I will be recapping episode 6 as well, and then talking about whatever the hell I want, like I usually do. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope if you hadn't seen the show, this kind of urged you to watch it for yourself. It's truly some of the best work that I've seen this year, if not the best show that I've watched this year, I think. It's definitely in my top 5 for sure. Top 3, maybe honestly top 2. I don't have a list of my top shows of the year, but like this is obviously on it. But yeah, I urge you, if you haven't already, go watch Heated Rivalry on HBO. And yeah, follow me, follow Connor and Hudson on Instagram. Give them all the love that they deserve. And yeah, I can't wait. We're going to the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.